What's going on YouTube? It's Wyatt from NBK Outdoors, back with another review video today of the Mack's Prairie Wings 8-foot swamp blind. Today we'll be doing a full review on this blind, some of the things I like about this blind, as well as a full setup and takedown of this blind. So this is the Mack's Prairie Wings 8-foot swamp blind. It comes in what Mack's Prairie Wings calls a swamper camo. It's very similar to like Max 4, maybe Max 5 of Realtree. So this blind is exclusively sold at Mack's Prairie Wings, and it comes in at about $300, which is very comparable. It's actually a little cheaper than most A-frame blinds on the market. So one thing I like about this blind that's a little different from my other A-frame blind I have, which we do have a video on, you can go and find that on our page. It has these brush pockets on the bottom and the upper. On the other blind, it's only on the lower part, and that's so that like the bottom of your brush stubble can sit in there tight and it won't slide all the way through, so it won't slide down at all when it's up here. The other one doesn't have this top one, so that brush does tend to kind of slide out and push down on that other brush, so it's harder to do like 2 layers. So you do like 1 layer of brush down here and then a layer of brush up here as well. It's got plenty of stubble straps and everything you could need. You can attach a whole lot of brush to this thing. So another thing I like about this blind is that it's very easy to move. Right now with no camouflaging or brush on it, it's extremely light. Even with a little bit of brush on it, it's still pretty light. 2 people is optimal, but 1 person can easy enough pick this blind up and move it around wherever you may need it in the field. Alright, so now we're going to go over some of the interior features on this blind. So like the other A-frame blind and most A-frame blinds on the market, they have them connected just by straps. It has a top and bottom strap. I normally keep the top strap strapped while we're hunting, the bottom one unstrapped. Normally stays together pretty good, cameled in once you get all the brush on it, and then you can also sneak out from underneath if you don't want to unbuckle this. Another feature that I really like that I don't have on my other A-frame is it has these rods inside the door ends that keep it standing up straight. So like once you start getting some stubble on there, sometimes those doors like to lean forward or lean back, and they can either give you less room inside or leave you too open on the top. So I think these rods inside the doors are really going to help this year. And then if you go ahead and open this up, you can see all the way across the frame there's no bars that go across, so you can just walk right through it and you don't ever have to worry about ducking underneath anything. So basically just by connecting this piece of fabric on here is just a couple strips of Velcro, which may seem a little weak, and it'll have to take some time before I see really how it works. I wish they'd maybe sturdy them up a little bit. So this cover out here has some pockets that go over the frame that really hold it up too, which I really like and I don't have on the other blind. So I think that'll definitely handle the weight a little better. So another feature of this blind, which is on many other A-frames, is just 3 pockets on the inside here, so you can put all your personal items, shells, calls, anything you really need in here. So on my other blind, it comes with some gun holders here that are like foam, and they keep your gun from sliding back and forth. This blind doesn't come with those, but I don't think it'll be that much of an issue. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and disassemble this blind and show you how it comes apart. So first you're going to want to take the fabric off. So you're going to want to go ahead and stack these 2 covers on top of each other. So here's the frame for this blind. It's all 3/4 inch square tubing. It's got a pretty nice paint job on it. It is very light, but yet still very, very sturdy. It's very sturdy compared to the round square tubing. This blind is connected all together. It's got smaller square tubing that goes inside. It's a very tight fit, and if you don't get it lined up just perfectly, it doesn't really like to go in. It has a tough time, but don't force it. Just kind of work it around, and it'll eventually go in all the way. So there's some plastic sides on the clip here that hold up the front wall. They seem like they're pretty sturdy, but I could see them becoming a problem with them breaking in the future, but I haven't had an issue with that yet. So that was a takedown time for 1 person. It maybe took me like 3-4 minutes at max. So it's very quick to take down. Setting up obviously takes a little more time, and if you have less people, it could be even quicker. Now I just want to touch on the carrying strap that comes with it. On my other blind, it was very beefy and it had plastic buckles, like good sized plastic buckles that I don't think will break. On this one, they went very, very basic. There's no clip, nothing like that. They just have a little metal piece here that you just pull tight like some ratchet straps are. I think it's a little undersized, but I think it'll hold up. If it doesn't, I'll probably just end up just putting some ratchet straps around it. So now I'm going to show you guys the setup and a few more features of this blind. So to store everything, I just keep it in the center of this blind. It tends to hold it in really tight, especially when you ratchet those straps down really hard, and it all stays together and keeps it in one nice piece. So just like that, I like to lay everything out, get the frame all figured out. It's very simple. It's got 6 cross members that run the long way, and then the sides just got 5 pieces that's real easy to put together, real simple, real quick. So total setup time took about 8 minutes for this one guy, and it can be even quicker with 2 people. Now it may slow you down a little bit depending on your conditions, like the terrain, and once you get brush on here, but it's not going to take you any longer than 10 to 15 minutes, which is still pretty quick, and you got a fully camoed blind. Still a lot quicker than having a layout blind and brushing that in. So that's pretty much it for this Mack's Prairie Wings 8-foot swamp blind. Overall, I think it's a great value for $300 for what you're getting. It's basically got the same materials as the Avian X blind, and it has the same kind of materials as our all-ton A-frame blind. The conduit's a little bit different material. One's square, one's round. So it kind of depends on what kind you like in general. Overall, this is a great blind. I think it'll do us really, really well this waterfowl season. So I hope you liked today's video on this blind. We also have another video on the all-ton A-frame blind that'll be linked in the video above. Otherwise, you can go onto our page and see it. Both are very comparable. Both will do us well. Thanks for watching today, and stay tuned for another video to come soon.